think we're live.
Oh, we are live.
Not yet.
And that's like the start. Or will you be Bert or Ernie?
What are you doing?
It's doing it upside down.
Excellent connection. I think it's working.
Yep, we are live.
Oh,
Yeah,
only
live.
the switch is not working now.
Yeah, it is, but it's you have to switch back.
It's a latency.
It's latency in the thing.
Albus.
Fucking hell.
You're so close. There you are. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I think it's nice to see when you switch, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers. Let's get it.
Okay.
Welcome everybody.
Shall we go for it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Well,
Perfect.
thanks to the guys at Blue Rider Radio. Let's do this.
This is it. We're gonna start.
This is it. We're going to
Yes.
start. We're starting right now.
Okay.
It's actually already started. Here we go.
Is it working?
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so we're no Plexus. We're Amsterdam-based electronic music artists. My name's Alison. This is Beck. Or
Yeah,
Brechtje.
we actually came by bike. It was only 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was really
It's,
hyper-local experience.
Well, thanks to Blue Rider Radio for having us.
We're going to take the next hour or so just to go through a new practice that we've started, which is called keeping a taste journal. It's a new thing that we've started to do to try and be a little bit more intentional about the inspirations that we take from other artists' music, and also to stay really in touch with ourselves creatively and observe the things that we like and things that we don't like, and how do we take those things that into our own practice and stay connected to ourselves creatively.
Yeah, also, it seems in some way when you describe it like this, it seems so obvious, right? Like, collect your inspirations. Like, why, as if that's not a basic thing that everyone does. But there's something special, at least to me, when Alison introduced this idea to me. There was something very specific about this format that really put me on a different, way of thinking, where it's not just sourcing things that are cool and maybe plonking them in a playlist, and it's also not just finding something cool and then analyzing it in a technical way, which is so tempting. Just be like, oh, okay, the voice sounds really cool because it's with autotune and this kind of reverb, or she sounds really hushy. Like, this way of thinking, it actually, what I found really cool with this approach that we're also going to do today, is to listen to something, and then the moment you realize, okay, this somehow resonates, to then start with the question, how does it make me feel? Or in a slightly wider sense, what does this make me think of? Like, what kind of place does this bring me in? And then to think, as a music maker, what in the music gives me this sense?
Yeah, how is that artist achieving that feeling that I feel in my body? So I think it's worth saying that this is a very incredibly subjective experience.
That's the cool thing about it,
Yeah.
actually.
And so, I think it comes from a bit of a practice of deep listening, and a little wink to Pauline Oliveros on that, and all the great texts and writing about slowing down and really observing yourself, observing other things, particularly in an art practice, and trying to be, really in the moment and understand how you are indeed resonating, what parts of you are resonating and why. And we just take that practice a little bit further to actually create a little bit of an ingredients list that we can take into our own practice from other people's work. And of course, in that process of filtering what you have heard into what you'd like to use, it's incredibly subjective, because you could be starting with something very, very conceptual as the thing that you want to bring into your work, and what you considered to be the elements in the music that achieve that conceptual phenomenon is going to be completely subjective.
And also, as you start collecting more and more of these journal entries, it will become clear really quickly that the same feeling can be created by very different musical means. So it's also kind of a nice way to scratch away the borders of genres or subcultures or all of that, which again is definitely something we've also fallen into as a wormhole of like just getting obsessed with a genre and then just doing that for the genre's sake instead of how it feels.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to just collect more and more emotional references actually, and then once you start creating, you can be like, okay, I want to create something that makes me feel lonely, but in a grateful way. Okay, let me look in my journal and see all the different kinds of styles that I've found this with.
Yeah.
And that also, of course, is going to probably lead to really interesting new combinations and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, maybe we should just do
Yes.
it. And what I think would be, what's quite fun about the way that we've organized it today is that I have no idea what Brechje has collected in her taste journal, and she doesn't know what's in mine. And we're going to reflect ourselves, of course, on the tracks that we've selected, but we should also have some time to ask if the other person feels the same way about the music as well. I'm sure that might be a bit weird
Yeah.
and also really interesting. Let's do it. Do you want to
Yeah,
start?
we might decide to stop collaborating after this if we're just like too...
We're just so worlds apart.
Yeah, this is a very tense episode. Okay, do you want to take off?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Here we go. We can get into Able Tunes. Yeah, so should I speak first or just share the track? No, I'm going to share the track. We're just going to go straight for it. So this is a track by Giant Claw called Pulled Me in the Dark. It's brand new. I hope you enjoy. Yeah,
Wow.
Keith Rankin, huh? I love Keith Rankin's music. I love his whole perspective on sequencing, resequencing and reflipping these samples that feel so familiar from like the pop catalog. I think this is still.
You might want to hold it a bit like this.
I'm an instrument. Yeah.
It's not so close, but otherwise you're like.
You don't like my ASMR?
Not right now, babe.
Okay. Anyway, for me, this track is, and a lot of this music by Keith Rankin, and also more of the tracks that I'm going to show today, will have a few things in common. And for me, it's a really specific form of nostalgia that comes from reinterpolating these really incredibly familiar ingredients that really, for me, hit this. I'm 16 and I'm using my computer in the study of my parents' house. You know, I hear sounds in there that are very like General MIDI or like very, very early samples that came for free in packages on your computer. And hearing them sequenced like this in these patterns, it kind of reminds me of you remember the pinball game that you had on like Windows Vista, and all the sounds that were loaded into those like really basic games. And I don't know if we've spoken before about the promotional videos that Windows made for their audio driver with all the bouncing balls and like weird animations that just showed like, look how much complexity we can have now in our audio playback systems. I don't know, for some reason these are really deep in me in this nostalgic period of my teenage years, of like being a bit bored and looking around and all of the free stuff that came on my computer. And I hear that a lot in Keith Rankin's music as Giant Claw. And it really brings me back to a really kind of specific digital nostalgia that's a bit melancholy. And what I really like about his music also in this track is also the whimsy that in his music, which is this quite playful. I know we've spoken about this track before, and you've said that you get a little bit lost in the middle.
I actually now I have found a way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, just to tie this up, the reason it's in my taste journal is because I get really overwhelmed by this sense of digital nostalgia, and it being quite bittersweet. It is a kind of a sadness of things lost. I mean, that's what nostalgia is all about, right? It's like a past that you long for. And in this way, it's very, very tech heavy, for me. And that's really nice. It's like a digital positive outlook on futurism through nostalgia.
Can I say something about it?
Please.
So indeed, when I listened to it the first time a few weeks ago, I loved the beginning, and then at some point I got lost.
Yeah.
And now I know where this happened, and it was somewhere. Let me see if I can find this. It was like 2 minutes 38 or something I wrote down. Oh,
It's here.
yeah.
Click in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I just yeah. Okay. So how I interpret this is like it starts so sad, and then at some point there's this switch. I mean, we can already see it in the sound waves, and I just wrote down delirium. It's like as if suddenly we've gone so deep into the sadness now. Suddenly stuff just starts getting weird and actually really like colorful and joyful suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
And then through this delirium, at some point suddenly it becomes epic. It's like as if we've gone through this sadness, we've gone so deep that it became crazy. But then actually you arrive at a point where you can really, really feel it. And then it becomes romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point we get like these like massive snares, like with like these 80s reverbs on it, and suddenly it's kind of like we move a little bit away from the deep feeling anymore. Like now it becomes familiar or something.
Yeah, epic, anthemic kind of.
Yeah, and then it felt to me like at some point we got these like really dry kicks. I'll try to maybe I can find it back. And it almost felt like it was like the feeling starts moving further and further, and this dry kick was this like effort to try to hold on to this feeling that keeps moving away. And then in the end, all that we have left is this marimba, which still has the same kind of harmony and kind of the same flavor, but the real feeling is gone. So it's just suddenly I just felt like, oh God, it's like we've gone through this whole journey where it was first just this surface level sadness, then actually it becomes too much craziness, then you're at the core of it, and then that you can only hold that for so long until
it like
you
slips through your fingers.
Until you first like give it a name and kind of romanticize it, and then it's like a memory, it just slips through your fingers. So I just thought like just to hear that delirium again. This feels like an arrival. But then, indeed, with the snares. Like now it's kind of like as if you're like, okay, I've gone through the bad shit now already. I'm comfortable enough to tell my friends exactly how I can describe, like I can describe the feeling now.
I know, yeah, totally.
Okay, maybe we should move on.
Yeah, I think that, I also just wanted to say that this kind of like approach to the anthemic, epic, cathartic kind of feeling in this music is something that I think that we're really excited about right now, about how do you do epic in so many different flavors. And epic can be, of course, drama and loss and terrible, but it can also be this explosion of release, and in this case, indeed, like a realization or cathartic kind of anyway. So this was my first one. We weren't so universes away from each other in how we felt this track, so that's nice.
No, we can continue being a duo.
Okay.
Okay, I think. Okay, we're already 20 minutes in. I'm thinking what is interesting to show. Okay, let me give you maybe a choice.
I get to choose?
Yeah. Okay. We have 3 options.
Don't tell me the names of the tracks.
No,
tell me the emotions.
No, of course not.
Okay. Sorry.
So we have either almost all percussion but digital.
Okay.
Like really cool drum programming. Then we have something with vocals. Or I mean, you probably know already what that one is.
Yeah.
Or there's like this kind of nightmare song track.
Take me to the nightmare. Let's go.
Okay. So we go. Let me see. Well, it's funnily enough called Rest and Relaxation.
Go to edit.
Yeah, you do it.
I will do it. All right. Let's take me to the nightmare. Let's go. Oh my god, what a nightmare. Tell me.
Did you hear the alarm in the end?
I heard the clock ticking.
Here.
The tick clocking.
Listen.
Oh yeah. Tell me, who is this?
So this is Lila tirando a Violeta.
Ah, Lila. Love.
Did we meet Lila?
Yeah, we were on the same lineup.
Yes. Okay, I was already wondering this morning, like, how did I bump into this artist? So cool. Let me talk you through the journey as I was trying to like transcribe my feelings. So the first feeling I had was bugs.
Bugs?
Yes.
Bugs is a feeling?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well,
you mean like your skin is crawling?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like these really like these
terror.
sped up high pass samples that are just like in the super dry, like all of this stuff, and then I don't know, but then I'm like, no, there's more, and it's like, okay, dry and wet, there's this contrast where there's like this really, but I mean it more in a like first on your skin kind of feeling, like there's
like
stuff
this is uncomfortable, right? You're like
or visceral, like
okay.
There's stuff that's incredibly like indeed buggy, dry. Also the voices are like really, at some points it feels like paper almost, just like. But then at the same time, there's this humidity, like reverbs as if we're in a bathroom, or sometimes it feels like we're in a forest almost. And also,
but it feels quite like threatening, right? All of that stuff feels like indeed we're not
ominous.
Yeah,
or
it's a bit unsafe.
Lurking, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not per se unsafe, but there's something lurking.
Yeah.
It's
quite dark indeed.
Yeah. There was also, I wrote down, is like on the drums, there's this LFO on a low pass on the drums, which just really made me think of heat waves. And so I'm kind of like, there's more. It's like, okay, so I wrote high humidity city garden, because then I started thinking about the lyrics, and it's like wake up, and I hear also these sounds that make me think of the like a city rush in the morning. It's like so I'm just suddenly like, and then I thought it's also kind of like hallucinogenic, like there's something trippy about all of this. And then I think it all I'm almost there, so I'm kind of like, okay, it's trippy, so it's also this difference between sometimes you feel rushed in this track and sometimes you feel soothed, and then I'm like, okay, I think I got it. I think and I have to also admit, I think the lyrics kind of spell it out. It's I think this transition, or it's about transitioning from this like supernatural dream world to waking up and needing to just like go and participate in
like
the city,
getting pulled back through the fourth dimension,
being
unconscious, and then I have to go and catch like the 9 a.m.
train. And it's such a cool illustration of that, where you're kind of like fading in and out, like, or actually fading out and then back in to a dream. And I think you actually can really relate to like just kind of this like being startled to have to wake up.
She says that because I'm really bad at waking up in the morning. Yeah, for me this also is like very much wrapped up in kind of the aesthetic of these, we were talking about this before, like these Y2K scenes of clubs, and like in Blade or in The Matrix, I kind of hear this very, very leather coats, very little tiny black sunglasses, which is actually, now I'm thinking about it, the last time we met Lila, she was wearing tiny little black sunglasses and a leather jacket. So maybe that's
on brand,
coming through. Yeah, I definitely heard a very ominous and dark and progressive, dream state kind of thing too. Yeah. Cool. My turn. Okay, where are we going now? We are going to... do you want to hear my most emotional track, like in terms of touches me very deeply, or would you like to hear something more lighter in terms of how heavy it is emotionally, or something more abstract?
Okay, how, like, we are halfway, so I think maybe time also has to play a role. Is there... Okay.
Oh
Cool.
wow! 5 hours later.
How? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh yeah.
Well, you just pick.
Okay, I'll pick then. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. Can you? Yeah, let's go see the screen. We like a spectral analysis. Yeah, this is actually a remix of a J-pop song by Sheena Ringo, and the original sounds absolutely nothing like that. It's a remix by Telephone Tel Aviv. Absolutely exquisite production. But anyway, before I start just talking technical, for me this is really, sexy robot vibes. It's very much an exploration of.
Can I add to that sexy robot rusty battery? Like there's something about it that's like decaying.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I think that this is, for me, is as if the AI is now sentient and they're exploring their sexuality, and it's quite dark and late at night and cyber futurism vibes.
And aware that it is about, like, it is in the gay.
It's very Ghost in the Shell vibes. We watched that
Yes.
recently. Yeah, it's giving sci-fi, romance, realness. Am I real? Do androids dream of electric sheep? You know, all of it. It's all there. Asimov's in there. We're trying to work out if we can be sexy as a robot. Yeah, and if you're a fan of the game Portal, for me this is just like, I can't unhear that this is GLaDOS singing this, right? The severe auto-tune and the vocal processing throughout this and how it comes in and out of focus is very GLaDOS to me, and that makes it a bit humorous maybe, but I still hear that she deserves to have her sexual awakening, you know, and find love.
Or them.
They, them.
I mean, it's
the
it
girls, the
also
gays, and
was
the theys.
morphing a lot in the
Yeah.
The format shifting was really intriguing.
And that's also, yeah, the exploration of identity and the space that's carved out for that being really cool also. Yeah, I wrote down indeed that the digital abstraction of the voice feels like a search for identity, and that being wrapped in an incredibly coolness over time in this track. And I totally hear the decay as well, and I think that's part of the grime or the grunge of that feeling. Yeah.
Speaking about games,
Uh-oh.
it's a beautiful bridge.
I know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Do it.
Bam, bam, bam. Let me see.
Yes.
Bam. Yeah, this works. Okay. Let's go. So that was Carolyn Polachek on the beach.
It's the new Danielle Harl and Carolyn Polachek in a Kojima game. Oh my god, PlayStation nerds, we're here.
Yeah, so this is
All the feelings.
the soundtrack to Death Stranding
2.
2.
Yep.
Yes.
Which is based in Australia. Didn't know that.
I know.
The
That's
post-
so cool.
The post-apocalyptic Australia.
Oh, that's so nice.
G'day, mate.
Hey,
How you going?
Aussies.
My people. It's good to be with you.
Our people.
I think I finally understand this track. This is the third time now that we've listened to this track in the last 2 days, and I think I finally get it,
Yeah.
which is interesting. It's interesting with their music that a lot of Danielle Harl and Carolyn Polachek's music for me doesn't require multiple listens, but this one did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So okay. Indeed, we were kind of talking about, okay, why doesn't it land? It's not hitting, but it is hitting, but somehow it isn't. And so, okay, my 3 feelings.
I should say this. We really, really wanted to like this. That's why we got
Yeah.
so excited when it came out.
And I also I did like it from the beginning. You just didn't like it.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to get it now. Go on. Tell me, why is this in your taste journal?
I think the first thing I wrote down, contained, concentrated. It's just so compact in its energy.
And restrained.
It's this like big kick that isn't that big somehow. It's the really restricted beat, a groove, or like drum programming. And it's also specifically, I think you would call this a re-synth, where there's this like
the big wide phasey bass.
Yeah, and that I wrote down, it's like as if it that it's really slowly shifting, and especially in the end, in the outro, you can hear it really clearly. And it's kind of as if you're watching a time lapse and you see the shadows move, and like you can only see this by sitting for a very long time, really focused.
Yeah.
And it just has that feeling of like beauty that comes with patience, something like that.
I was going to say that I had the same feeling in terms of this temporal realness, like they're playing with macro and micro, and indeed that maybe the beauty in this is about the decay and watching over a really long period of time, right? Is that also
I don't know
what
if
you
it's
mean?
really decay, but it's more it has maybe some sort of play with time. It's like listening to these Reese synths with this like shivering top parts of those sounds. It feels as if you're hearing a time lapse.
Yeah.
Where it's indeed, if you would film a time lapse a tree, the tree normally is still, but then when you speed it up, suddenly it's shivering.
True.
You know, so it's something like this where it's I also thought just night. It gives me a lot of nightly feelings.
Nightly feelings.
But mostly, actually, what I wanted to touch on was landscape. So it's this sense of like spaciousness. I thought I had like this ever-moving tonality. Every block seems to modulate, but I cannot really gravitate. I cannot find the tonic so easily. And the lead melody also is never really arriving.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this was the thing that in some way, which actually drew me in from the beginning. I found it so intriguing, but it was also the thing that kind of was confusing in some way, I think, at first. But then I thought, it makes so much sense as a game track, because this feels like indeed a track that perfectly fine. I can so easily imagine this being on loop while you're playing the game and it not getting old, because the blocks actually do contrast quite a lot, and I never feel like it's complete. So
and I get what you mean.
Yeah, there was something of this like open game soundtrack,
like when you kind of leave the loading screen on for a long time and you're not playing the game, but you're hearing the entire world kind of being spelled out. It's kind of my favorite memory of games, actually, especially like, you know, Halo was amazing at this, so just like having this beautiful soundtrack that didn't really interrupt what you were doing.
Exactly.
But you were very much immersed in the world, and it didn't require a lot of layers in order to do that. Like
Yeah, and it's not actually the loading screen. It's really like I feel
Like
like we're
during
in
the
this
game.
environment. We're just like riding the horse, going.
It's
yeah,
like very futuristic. I think
Yeah.
it's more like apocalyptic,
Riding
trying not to
the
die.
the metal horse.
Radioactive vibes. Yeah, I think I finally start to understand this track on the third listen now. Of indeed this idea of maybe we're not supposed to arrive in this feeling, that it feels indeed like something is lost and we are indeed searching, and that's why the composition just keeps sort of unfolding, but never really celebrating some sort of arrival. And it's starting to become memorable to me. And I mean, I just love an ethereal vocal with a big, beautiful, full spectrum. Respace like this. It's just gorgeous. Okay, we move on, or is there more you want to touch on in this one?
Would it
Trying
be
to find a
interesting to
good way to
listen
sit.
to every time
Yeah. Okay.
and see? I don't know. Maybe actually we could, like, now after all this stuff that we just heard, see how this relates.
Or doesn't. What
Or
she means is
doesn't.
we're going to play an unreleased track of ours called Every Time. Yeah, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Where is it? Here we go.
If I hold on, time will go by. Every time, even if I hold on, see light seep through. Forgetting yet, knowing if I hold on, they stay in place. If I hold on, change holds me
Thanks. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of drinking from the same cup. I can hear it, in any case, from the other references that we've played today. What do you think?
Yeah, I can hear it in these like noise like percussion or percussive sounds. In the gliding like subs.
But also, like, emotionally, you know, like...
Yeah, definitely. It's somehow emotional, but also unemotional at the same time. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, it's like, the performance is unemotional.
Okay.
But the melody and the whole atmosphere also, I mean, the string playing is very moving.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of because the delivery of the vocals is kind of very reserved and neutral. It leaves space to, when you're listening to it, to just I don't know. It leaves space for your own feelings with it, and it also makes it a bit more, somehow universal. It feels a bit more like I don't feel like I'm listening to my own feelings on track here. It's not like I was sharing what I was feeling in that moment. It's more like something a little bit more removed.
I get what you mean. I think it, for me, is like, you know, the overview effect, that thing that happens to these astronauts when they come back after living on the space station for a long time, and then they feel somehow incredibly connected to everything on the planet and on a spiritual level, but also so oddly removed at the same time, where it's, you can have like, this sort of perspective that you feel incredibly connected but also disconnected, and that in some ways similar to how I think we've spoken about the show Scavenger's Reign a lot, where which is, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Fantastic animated show about science fiction. It's about a whole lot of crew of a spaceship that end up stranded on a foreign planet that has a completely different flora and fauna to anything that we know, that is somehow threatening, but also they find some forms of symbiosis with it. But anyway, in that show, what I really like so much is that the narration, or the way that the story unfolds, seems indifferent to the outcome of the characters. In some way, it is just more of an observation of a world, of a universe, of things that are happening. You feel like an observer, really, as you are watching this show. It's not so much about drama in any particular character's life, but more of this kind of distance. And the distance is really beautiful, and I really hear that in this track, that I love so much about it, and I would love to make more music like this, that it's indeed kind of observational in this kind of overview way. And that's showing things to be quite beautiful, even if you're not spelling it out in the composition, how you should feel at any particular moment, if that makes sense. Yeah
Yeah, it's just interesting of just like indeed this contrast between feeling things in the moment and feeling the big overarching things, and you cannot really have both. Like if you're having music that really feels like a lot right now, that's what's happening. Yeah,
that's the dominant.
But then you cannot like zoom out and do. So yeah, it's just it's interesting.
It's interesting for us to reflect on our own practice with this, I think, but maybe that's for a conversation for another time.
Yeah, I might have actually a fun track to complete this journey that we have.
Hit me.
To just completely shake this things up.
We're going to go somewhere completely different?
Yes.
Okay, take me. Let's go.
So I will tell about it because I think after this we also just shouldn't talk about it anymore.
Oh, is this
We
also
yeah.
us saying goodbye?
Well, not directly. We can talk a little bit about it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sure.
Are you ready?
I'm curious what it is that you're going to show that's going to throw the whole show off the rails. Let's go.
I shouldn't even tell why I'm picking it. It's just very strange
Great.
and fun.
Just like you.
Oh, thanks,
It's my
babe. So the track, it's Nicky Nair and Blake the Man 1000, and the track is called Juliet.
Let's go.
Edit? Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, and also, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you to Blue Rider Radio for having us, and if you're tuning in and listening to us wax lyrical about music and why we like it. Find us on the internet if you like our music. We're No Plexus. You can find us on Instagram. We're playing shows around. You can find more on our Instagram.
Yeah, and start a taste journal.
Yeah,
It's
start your own
cool.
taste journal. Start asking yourself why you like things so that you can get closer to making the kind of music that you want to make. That's why we do it. Anyway, last track. Here we go.
Pretty is your face, I thought of it all day. I miss your messy room, messy things you used to say. I heard it from a friend, you ain't ever coming back, Juliet. Gentle is the tiger eating grasses by the stream. He's gentle like the kisses that you give me in my dreams. I heard it from a friend, you ain't ever coming back, Juliet. Pretty is your face, I thought of it all day. I miss your messy room, messy games we used to play. I heard it from a friend, you ain't ever coming back,
Well, you never fail to surprise me. This is giving 2010s indie Kimya Dawson with Jersey Beat vibes.
How good?
Like the Juno soundtrack, but then
yes,
with the mattress squeak of the Jersey Beat.
and also Noah and the Will, like these strings, or Sufjan Stevens.
Oh my god.
It's a lot.
Jersey is a lot. Midwestern emo 2010s Jersey club remix
With guns.
with guns and lasers. But the emotion that I got from this, I probably wouldn't put into my own taste journal. It's more like positive chaos, whimsy, sarcasm, maybe. I don't know. They sound sincere though. It sounds a bit sincere to me.
That's how they fuck with your mind.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it then.
Yeah.
This was a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. We'll go home together now.
Yes.
And thanks to Blue Rider Radio. Thanks for having us. And bye. Well, we can play one more thing to exit. Actually, I have the version of Baby by Justin Bieber, but 800 times slower. So we can. I haven't. No, you don't
But
need
this
it.
takes like 3 hours,
Well,
right?
I'm just going to put it on, and then we can kind of get out of it from here.
Yes, okay.
So enjoy the Paul stretched version of Baby by Justin Bieber. It's unbelievably beautiful.